Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Suzi Aznieza Binti Bahrudin. My metric number is 1172531 and I'm from TABC. Today, I would like to present my proposal. My topic is the relationship academic self-efficacy and academic achievement among Fpbu'S students at Usim Nilai. In my presentation, I would like to tell about introduction, research problem, research question, research objective, hypothesis, significance of the study, scope of the study, operational definition, literature review, perspective Islam, theoretical framework, methodology, data analysis, and instrumentation. Next is my introduction. Self-efficacy refers to student belief in their ability to master new skill and tasks, often in a specific academic domain. In other words, perceived self-efficacy is concerned with people's belief in their capabilities to produce given attainments. This study seeks to examine relationship that exists between student report efficacy for particular tasks relate to learning and other student characteristics. Self-efficacy as a motivational orientation that stimulates grief when faced with difficulties, enhance elaborate action, encourage long-term view, foster self-regulation, and allow for self-correcting whenever necessary. By Abasari 1995, maintained that involvement with success or failure may be related to strong or weak level of self-efficacy, and this relationship can determine the performance of university students. Next is my research problem. My research problem is for university students to be successful and become higher achiever, they must put in an extra effort toward their learning. Several studies that focus on the relationship between academic self-efficacy and student performance in various learning tasks and overall well-being highlight the important relationship that exists between one perceived ability at being successful in learning and one ability to actually learn and achieve academic success. From Percy 2010, study is important in terms of considering the importance of accuracy in self-efficacy judgment related to student performance. In my proposal, there is three research questions. Firstly, what the level of academic self-efficacy among Fpbu'S students in Usim? Next is what the level of academic achievement among Fpbu'S students in Usim? And then lastly, what the relationship between self-efficacy and academic performance among Fpbu'S students in Usim? Beside that, I have research objective also. Firstly, to measure the level of academic self-efficacy among FPBU students in USIM. Secondly, to measure the level of academic achievement among FPBU students in USIM. And lastly, to examine the relationship between self-efficacy and academic performance among FPBU students in USIM. Next is my hypothesis. Actually, my hypothesis 1 until hypothesis 3 have a same hypothesis. This is, there is no significance between self-efficacy and academic performance among FPBU students in USIM. Next is significance of the study. This study will be give benefit to two categories. Firstly, to student and addiction counseling fight. Secondly, to counselor and community. First, for student and addiction counseling fight, they will increase knowledge about self-efficacy, understanding their self-efficacy, and focus pattern of the study. This part is from behavior and cognitive. Why? For counselor and community, they can organize prevention and intervention program and enhance awareness about self-efficacy. This is more to practical implication. Next is scope of the study. This study focused among Fpbu'S students in Usim, the sample participant from first year student until third year student, and the location of the study is at Usim in Bandar Baru Nilai. Next is operational definition. For academic self-efficacy is a construct which motivates a student learning through the use of such self-regulatory process as goal setting, self-monitoring, self-evaluation and strategy use. Why? For academic achievement, academic achievement is the extent to which a student, teacher, or institution has attained their short or long-term educational goals. Next is literature review. This study have discussed the previous study. At this presentation, I have two literature review. Firstly, by Barry J. Zimmerman, Albert Bandura, and Manuel Martin Pons, 1992, study is casual role of student self-efficacy, belief, and academic goals in self-motivated academic attainment. The sample student participant from two high school in a large extensity. Thus, 102 students participate from 50 men and 52 women. The results show the student belief in their efficacy for regulated learning affect their perceived self-efficacy for academic achievement, which in turn influence the academic goals they set for themselves and their final academic achievement. Secondly, from Mimi Bong and Ina M. Scalvi, 2003, this article, the researcher discussed important similarity between self-concept and self-efficacy, as well as some notable difference. Both constructs share many similarities, such as centrality of perceived competence in contract definition use of mastery experience, social comparison, and reflected appraisal as major information source and a domain-specific and multidimensional nature. However, there are also important differences. The researcher of the study used method of measuring both construct in self-report. The nature of self-concept and self-efficacy evaluation differ from one another. Assessing one's capability and academic self-concept relies heavily on social comparative information and reflect appraisal from significant others. Next is perspective Islam. Islamic perspective, the key of word self-efficacy from Islamic perspective is belief. The belief in the ability to do particular tasks or face any resistance is derived from the Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala in the Al-Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah in verse 286. Next is theoretical framework. The researcher used instrument multidimensional scale of perceived self-efficacy (MSPSE) by Bandura 2006. The researcher used two subscales from this instrument, which is academic self-efficacy and self-efficacy for regulated learning. Self-efficacy is explained in the theoretical framework of social cognitive theory by Bandura, which states that human achievement depends on interactions between one's behavior, personal factor, and environment condition. The behavior of individual depends largely on early experience at home. Person variable include cognitive factor such as belief, memory, planning, and judging. By cognitive function, people have the capacity to select or choose to attend from the environment. The home environment that stimulates curiosity, Exploring activities would invite active. Next is methodology. For research design, the present study utilizes quantitative methodology. This is correlational design and cross-sectional. In this study, there are 1,005 Fpbu students. The sample is 150 sample Fpbu student in Usim from first year student until third year student and will divide the survey evenly to them. They were selected using stratified sampling method based on their ability to participate. The researcher used to subscale from MSPSE. The researcher asked the permission to conduct the survey will be asked from persons. The questionnaire will be distributed to the students. Students will be informed that their participant is confidential. They will be requested to respond honestly within 10 to 50 minutes. Researcher will provide necessary help and make sure the questionnaire is complete by the student. Next is data analysis. In this research, the data from the both subscale were analyzed by using SPSS. The result of the research was presented through descriptive method analysis in research objective 1 and 2 because we want to identify percentage, mean and standard deviations. Why? For objective 3, the researcher used person correlation. Next is instrument. The instrument that researcher use is multidimensional scale of perceived self-efficacy (MSPSE) by Bandura 2001. The total question of both subscale is 19 and 11 item in academic self-efficacy and 8 item in self-efficacy for regulated learning. For academic self-efficacy, have 5 point of Likert scale, which is no confident at all to complete confident at all. While for self-efficacy for regulated learning, have 7 point of Likert scale, which is very untrue to very true. And the subscale that researcher use is academic self-efficacy and self-efficacy for regulated learning. This is the instrument that researcher use, academic self-efficacy and efficacy for regulated learning.